Happy welcome back to the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day, and it's all about a forgotten man. That's right, a man who's been working hard in the background behind the scenes of Newcastle United to get ready for next season. It's the Italian stallion himself, Sandro Tonali. Remember him? That's right, the lad who's been banned for 10 months due to a gambling addiction and betting violations. We all knew about it, we all talked about it, we all give our opinion about it, mine too as well. But there's a story in the Chronicle doing the rounds of Sandro Tonali. Sandro's vow is that he's about to repay the faith put in and by Newcastle United, the manager, the fans, his teammates, everything really, and he's ready to hit the ground running. It's quite pertinent that we're doing this quick reaction video really, and the Chronicle ran this story. So Italy got their Euro 24 campaign after a winning start, 2-1 victory against Albania. Undoubtedly, had he not been suspended, I'm pretty sure Sandro Tonali would have been in that midfield alongside maybe Barella or alongside Jorginho possibly, and maybe playing with their potential Newcastle United target Chiesa, who did wonderful on the right wing, by the way. Anyone who watched our reaction video or our rumour has it video even to Chiesa and said he can't play on the right wing, yeah, he did all right last night, got man of the match, didn't he? So go back and watch that. But going back to Sandro Tonali, I mean, Sandro definitely has a lot to repay Newcastle United for, 100%. There's no doubt about it. It's nice to hear that the players got that determination, that drive to come back next season. He's available on, I think it's August 27th, so it works out our third game back in the Premier League. He's not going to just walk back into the team. There's no way that's going to happen at all. I'm sure Eddie Howe and everybody else will be ready. Very clever how they use Sandro when he comes back. You've got to remember he's had 10 months away from competitive football, you know, in any kind of level really. So he's going to be very ring rusty no matter how well he's trained in the background. But one of the things that he may very well have improved upon is his language. So he's probably learned English. He's probably taking that time to learn English. We've seen him in a couple of the promo videos talking to Elliot Anderson about crisps and biscuits and things like that. And he seems to be, you know, joining in the banter and being able to converse with his teammates as well, which is really, really good. You know, he's probably got a lot more used to the way Eddie Howe manages the coaching methods, what he wants out of a player. You know, in practice matches and training, he's probably played, I'm sure, alongside Bruno, Joe Linton, you know, Elliot Anderson, Miley, Longstaff, all these players, and he probably understands their games maybe a little bit more in terms of how they play. I know training is different to a game, obviously, but there will be improvements that have been made behind the scenes with Sandro Tonali, and hopefully that will transmit or translate over when he comes back and plays for us next season. We saw flashes of it this last season gone. I think the Villa game is the big one for me that sticks out. I think he was sensational in the Villa game, you know, getting the goal, bossing that midfield, linking up really well, Bruno and Joe. Couple of all right performances after that. I think, you know, Liverpool, he did well in the Liverpool game. You know, Milan, he was all right. You know, but a lot of the games he didn't quite give you what you were hoping he was going to give you. But like I said, there's loads of mitigation, you know, in the background there. We don't know how he was feeling with all this hanging over his head and if it was affecting his game mentally and physically. You know, you have to have both elements really on point to deliver a good performance as a footballer or a professional athlete in any capacity, really. So maybe that was hampering his performances. But one thing is for sure, this would be a great return. You know, it's that cliche, it's like a new signing, and it is like a new signing because he's a £50 million, you know, international class midfielder that we haven't really been able to play. Last season we played him a handful of times. What was it, 12 times or something daft like that he played? So to have him, you know, back fit in the fold, you know, come kind of late August is brilliant for Newcastle United. It really, really is. And it's a boost, really. You know, never mind the things we're going to do in the transfer market. There's players linked left, right and centre. But I think to have Sandro back in the setup is just going to be good for Newcastle overall, really. And I really hope he does, you know, stick to his word and he restores the faith and he hits the ground running and he shows, you know, that Eddie Howe and the club and the fans and his teammates were all right to stick by him and support him, and he repays that faith. Because if he does rock up and play like he can play, like we saw at AC Milan, we will have one of the best midfielders in the league at our disposal. We really will. And if Bruno's going to stay and Joe Linton's fully fit and firing, that midfield three is right up there for me as one of the best midfield threes in the league, no shadow of a doubt whatsoever. You know, and then you look up top and you've got Gordon, Isak, and whatever we're going to do on the right hand side, who knows if we're going to bring in a big player, if we're going to bring in a Neto or an Mbeumo, you know, or if Minter comes back and he is fucking Minter, you know, and he looks like the new Sadio Mane, who knows, you know, what he's going to look like. So this could be really good for Newcastle United. But yeah, just wanted to jump on and do a little reaction video about that. My whole opinion on Sandro Tonali really is that he has let people down. He's let down, the coach, the fans, the players. But he's also let himself down, and he knows that. He doesn't need some prick like me to tell him that. He knows that himself in his heart of hearts, and I'm pretty confident that he will put it in and come back and repay all the faith to Newcastle United en masse, that they put in him from last season. There was some word in that article as well, just worth mentioning, about Joe Willock. The club are hoping Joe Willock is shaking off his injury problems and he'll be fit for pre-season. That's huge for Joe Willock, and for Newcastle. Joe Willock is such a good player for us, with the way he gets the ball up the park, his energy, his ability to get goals. We saw little shades of it last season. He was nowhere near the Joe Willock we know, but he's such a good footballer. And if there's one player I really want to have a season free of injury, it's Joe Willock, because if he is, then he's going to be brilliant for Newcastle, and he's going to help us, climb higher up in that league and finish in a higher position, hopefully Champions League positions as well. But it'll be great to have Joe Willock back fit and firing, Sandro back hitting the ground running, doing what he does best. And that's two huge midfield boosts to the squad in the next season. I think midfield is an area, we've said this before, it's an area where I think we're strong. It really, really is. If you look at, the three there, and Bruno, Sandro and Joe Linton, and then you've got, Miley and Anderson having great seasons, Sean is still there, obviously Willock. I think the question marks are there over Sean Longstaff, obviously links to Leicester. We don't know if that's actually true or not. It seems like a thing that the club may do to bring in FFP money, but I think Eddie Howe likes Sean Longstaff. Sean does put it in for the team. He was playing with an ankle injury all last season as well. He still had really good numbers. If you go back and look at it, just take your shades off a little bit and have a look at the season that he had. He did do all right for us, in terms of statistics. So we maybe need to give him a little bit of slack. But it'll be interesting to see what happens, in the summer with the midfield and going into next season. I'm happy if that midfield stays as it is and we just get people back fit and from suspensions like Tonali. I think we've got a really strong midfield, and we need to make signings in the attack and third and also at the back, which will look like we're doing anyway. So let us know in the comments below what you think about the Sandro vow. Are you ready to forgive him? I think you probably are. If you're a Newcastle fan, you've got to give him a chance to repay that faith. Do you think he's going to do well next season, or do you think he's going to struggle? Just let us know what you think in the comments below. We always like to hear from you. We never throw you out the comments for for having a disagreement with us. Even as I always say, don't be a prick or you'll get the flick. As long as your comments are there and you keep it above the belt, we're all happy to engage with you. But if this is the kind of thing you like, smash subscribe, come and join us nevermore. Help get us to 8,000 subs. We're nearly there. We're only a couple of hundred off there, so get us to 8k before the season starts. That'll be really appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the Euros. We'll be back with some reaction video for our international mags. Fabian Schär had a great game of the day. The England lads are in duty later on as I'm recording this today. So we'll be back with some international mag updates as well. Keep it evermore, guys. Have a cracker. We'll see you later. Cheers.